the past 4 months, as an afterthought, he has been referred to as N. Joe Blanton. Despite his 6 postseason appearances for the Phillies, including a World Series victory in '08, the names in the rotation are always followed by N. Joe Blanton. Over the last 3 seasons, he has posted a spectacular 16-5 record after the All-Star break. They look to avenge their first loss of the season, and Joe Blanton makes his 2011 debut. Starters in the books. Number 5 goes tonight. That's right. Joe Blanton will take the baseball for the Phillies as they welcome in the New York Mets for Game 2 of a 3-game series. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Gary Matthews. Wheels will be along a little later on. All right, Sarge, I was talking to Rich Doobie today, and I asked him about the number 5 starter. At this point in the year, a lot of times teams will skip their number 5 starter. But Rich Doobie said there was no way he could do that to Joe Blanton.
Well, just because of the effort that Big Joe Blanton gives you daily when he takes that ball. Never misses a start there usually. Take a look at the highlights there. Big Joe Blanton there against the New York Mets. He is at best when he gets that sinker ball down. He gets ground balls. He'll throw that change up. Look how he spotted that ball right there to Reyes. Again, there's a ball that's on the inside part of the plate. Not afraid to pitch up in the zone, too. That's what you really like about him. And how about the effort here? As he goes down there and helping out his own cause there, you really got to like him. Now, when you look here at that graphic, that 25-14 record, ERA is a little bit high, but Tom, again, the effort that he gives you going out, giving his team a chance to win.
Well, and great numbers here at Citizens Bank Park, and then also, Sarge, really good numbers in the second half the last 3 years.
Well, that's how you judge players, money players, in that second half. Look at that record, 16-5, and that's when you really need your pitchers after that All-Star break. Joe shows up all the time. He has been, again, he will give you an effort to be able to win that ball game.
And overall, 37 second-half wins during the career of Joe Blanton and an earned run average of 3.9. That also includes some starts in the American League. So Blanton tonight will be opposed by the guy the Mets considered their number 1, Mike Pelfrey, who was roughed up in his first outing against the Florida Marlins. So it's Game 2 of a 3-game series. Last night, folks captured the Mets offense, which were running all over the base pass, bunting, getting the extra base when they needed it. The lineups in the first pitch when we return. Harry Callis television booth. The Phillies and the New York Mets getting set for game 2 of this 3-game series on a much more pleasant night tonight than last night weather-wise. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Mets, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop is Jose Reyes. Willie Harris makes the start in left field. He'll hit second. David Wright bats third, followed by Carlos Beltran, the right fielder. Angel Pagan slips down to the 5-hole. Ike Davis is the first baseman. He'll bat sixth. And the bottom third of Brad Emis, Josh Tolley, and Mike Pelfrey. And they will face right-hander Joe Blanton, who is making his first start of the year for the Phillies after winning 9 games last year. Wheels.
Pretty good number 5 starter. There are the numbers on Joe. He's going to give up his hits, but he keeps his walk total down. He'll get some strikeouts. And the key to Joe Blanton is to minimize innings, because I said he will give up hits, but he doesn't usually hurt himself with walks. And almost always pitch 6 or 7 innings and keep you in the ballgame. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on Big Joe from Tennessee. Fastball in that range, but he really needs to be down in the zone, and he's pitched well at time against this New York Mets team.
Yeah, in fact, over his last 4 starts against the Mets here at Citizens Bank Park, he's 3-0 with an ERA of 1.27.
Time now for our Nissan Keys to the middle game of this 3-game series. Well, make Pelfrey bring the ball up. He is a sinker ball pitcher, and Joe uses his off-speed stuff effectively, and normally he'll pitch well when he can do that.
Well, this is game 2 of 18 this year between the Phillies and the Mets. Jose Reyes leads it off. He shows bunt, and we're underway as the pitches take it outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Reyes last night was 2 for 5 with a run scored. He reached on a bunt single. Blanton has had his number, and he's challenging Blanton right off the bat, and Blanton's first play of the night is off the glove of Ryan Howard, so Reyes is aboard, and we'll see how they score that one.
Well, that's what Reyes does. When he's healthy and can play the way that he can play, he gives you a lot of problems with that sort of stuff. And obviously that's going to be a base hit because of his great speed. Cole Hamels hurried a play last night. Blanton sees he has no chance if he doesn't rush it. And he really didn't have a good grip on that ball, and he couldn't get much on it.
No, and he was close to Howard, so Howard couldn't react and put the glove down to catch it. He tried to backhand it. Here's Willie Harris, who's off to a good start. Harris didn't play last night, and Terry Collins, the manager of the Mets, said it was a very difficult decision not to keep Harris in the lineup in left field because he's hitting .400 this year.
This guy has a different swing, though, against left-handed pitchers. And, Terry Collins knows that. I'm sure his staff does. And they want to protect him a little bit, and that's a good way to say it too, and it also gives somebody else a chance to play. Harris, in those years he was with Washington, was a handful for the Phillies.
260 with 6 home runs against the Phillies for his career. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Harris.
Seemed like he would get some big hits at the end of games there. The Phillies and Nationals keep going back and forth. The Phillies would win a lot of the games, but it seemed like they were always close.
That just missed. Boy, that was a pretty good pitch. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Harris. Joe Blanton last year at this time was on the disabled list with a strained left oblique. Reyes goes. The pitch is outside. The throw to second. A 1-hopper right past Orr and into center field. Reyes went late. Victorino wasn't ready for it, and Reyes still gets to third. Victorino's footwork was off balance because he thought Reyes was staying at second.
That's exactly right. And that's just a careless play. It's one thing for the ball to get bounced up there. Brian Schneider doesn't have much chance to get Reyes when he wants to steal. But, he was staying there at second, and he came up shaking in one hand, as he went head first into the bag. But there he goes. A bunt signal. Now he does this, and he's going to stay there at second. But then he sees, as Tom described, what Victorino wasn't doing on the play, and he knew he could get the third with those legs of his.
Harris tries to check. He went around, says Mike Winters. 1 away here in the first.
Harris wants to know, is that a strike or did I swing it?
Well, Winters pointed at him, so that usually means he swung at it.
Yep.
So Blanton has the first down here in the top of the first. With Reyes at third, he's still pointing to that left hand. He's got a brace on that left hand. It's his middle finger that's the problem.
Yeah, he had gloves on too, and he jammed a finger going into the back. Here he goes into the bag with that belly whomper. Now he could have hurt his hand right there, and then again he could have hurt it when he slid head first into third.
Here's David Wright. Wright had 4 hits in last night's ball game.
That was really an alert play by Reyes when he saw that Victorino wasn't charging that ball, and he knows with his speed he could get there.
Phillies play the infield back with 1 out here in the top of the first. Kind of the same setup they had last night when the Mets had runners on second and third in the first and didn't score.
Now, last year, David Wright, you could really get him to chase with 2 strikes on breaking balls away, and he'll probably go out there now.
The 0-2. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Pretty pitch from Blanton. 2 away here in the first.
Yeah, well, they went where you thought he would do, but he didn't have to chase it because it was a called strike. Mike Winters did a good job of staying with that slider.
Winters is the crew chief. Mike Everett's over at first. Mark Wagner is at second tonight. And Chris Guccione's around at third.
Here it is, a really sharp breaking ball. That's a curveball. And it's perfect right on the outside corner.
Well, here's Carlos Beltran, who was 0 for 4 last night. Beltran 2 for 14 overall. Reyes still at third with 2 away here in the top of the first. And change up by Blanton. 2 balls and no strikes.
Think about Joe Blanton being a strikeout pitcher, but got 2 big ones in this inning.
He's got some pretty good life on his fastball here tonight. That was a changeup, and it's back-to-back changeups to Beltran. But during spring training, he pitched the most innings out of any Philly starter.
Yeah, he's usually going to top off about 90.
On the hands, a fly ball to left. Ibanez is there, and Blanton works out of a jam here in the first inning. Reyes got to third with nobody out, and that's where he stayed. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Mets nothing, the Phillies coming up. Take a look at it. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco bats second, followed by Jimmy Rollins, the shortstop. The middle of the order is Ryan Howard as the cleanup batter. Raul Ibanez, the left fielder, bats fifth. Ben Francisco hits sixth. Pete Orr makes the start at second base, his first one since October of 2009. Ryan Schneider does the catching tonight for the first time, and Joe Blanton's on the hill, and they'll face 27-year-old right-hander Mike Pelfrey, who is basically the ace of the staff now, Wheels, with Johan Santana on the disabled list.
Yeah, he sure is, Tom. He's a veteran out there, too, now. Chris Young is 6'10". Well, this he's short. He's only 6'7". 2 really tall pitchers for 2 games in a row. That's what he did. He threw a grand slam home run to John Buck, a catcher for Florida, in his first start. That splitter that he's added, and he also threw a changeup, has really helped him a lot. But his bread and butter pitch is a heavy sinker ball.
Overall, 6-4 against the Phillies, as you saw. And Victorino shows bunt and takes the first pitch for a strike. And it's 0-1. Victorino overall 2 for 13. Has a home run and 5 RBIs against Pelfrey. And another breaking ball. That's outside, 1-1.
Phillies have hit Pelfrey in some games. Other games he's been very good. Last year they had a big game against him in a night game here.
Well, look at his numbers here at Philadelphia. An 8.17 ERA. Somebody asked me about that today. I said, well, a lot of times this ballpark gets into the heads of the opposing pitcher, and it doesn't matter who that pitcher is.
Yeah, tonight there's Dan Worthen, their pitching coach. It's pretty still here wind-wise tonight.
Little roller up the first base line. It'll stay foul.
Last night the flags were straight out from left field to right field with a wind out of the northwest. And they don't play see how still the flags are tonight. It's cool here, but the wind won't be a factor the way it was last night. 55 degrees, cloudy.
Certainly more comfortable here at the ballpark. 2-2 the count to Victorino. 0 for 5 in last night's game. And toward the gap in right center field. Beltran's not going to get to that one, nor is Pagan. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Watch Victorino go around second. He's heading to third. He'll get there easily. A leadoff triple for Victorino. It's his first extra base hit of the year.
Look like he hit a breaking ball there. You see such a steady diet of breaking balls, sliders, curves, changeups. And he nailed that thing. He's hit 10 triples last year. Well, both teams, the leadoff man to third with nobody out.
Now let's see if the Phillies can get him in.
Yeah, Tommy, the Phillies hope they have better results. There was a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, and he split the outfielders. And as Tom said, with that speed of his, you knew he had a heck of a chance for a triple.
You know, last night, that kind of ball may have been caught by Beltran the way the wind was blowing from left to right.
Yeah, it might have hung it up out there a little bit.
Here's Polanco. Polanco 6 for 15 this year. And he lines one-on-one hot. Grabbed by Emis. A run will score. It's 1-0 Phillies. Well, that is a productive out by Placido Polanco as Victorino crosses the plate.
A good base running. Good job by Juan Samuel at third to talk to him before that. The infielders are so far back in the middle. Even though that thing got to Emis in a hurry on one hop, he's not going to throw home. So all he had to do was make sure that he was not caught on the fly and then take off. Watch Victorino inch down the line, inch, have a walking lead. You see him right there in the corner of your screen. Now it hits the ground. As soon as it hits the ground, you go. If you hesitate, then all of a sudden you're there with one out.
Well, here's Rollins with one away, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Wheels talked about Pelfrey's size at 6'7", 230 pounds. You would think that he would be overpowering and have more than a strikeout per inning pitched or near a strikeout per inning pitched, but that's not his style.
Nope. Never been that kind of pitcher.
Yeah, he's a contact pitcher.
When he's on, he can really throw a heavy sinker.
2-1 the count to Rollins.
Well, he was a 9th pick overall back in 2005, a first rounder for the Mets, 9th in the country.
Rollins fouls it back to the first row of the Hall of Fame club. Rollins still looking for his first RBI, but he's had a productive first week of the season. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Frank Guido of Reading. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, Frank will win $200. In the air to shallow center. And Pagan started back. Now he comes running in. And he makes the catch. 2 outs. Hey, during the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. 2 outs. And here's Ryan Howard. Howard, as we talked about last night, has 28 home runs for his career against the Mets. 6 RBIs among the league leaders, and he scalds one to left center field. Pagan on the run. He can't get it. It's over his glove, and it shoots off the State Farm side, and Howard will pull into second with a 2-out double.
That ball really fooled Pagan. I think he thought it was going to carry more and had an upshoot to it, and probably had topspin. Came down in a hurry, and he wasn't able to get to it, and as Tom described it, kicked away out there.
A lot of times when the ball kicks off that wall, if it has enough on it, it'll keep rolling along the warning track.
Oh yeah, that's triple inside the park type of a ball right there. Now you see Pagan, I don't know what it was. He ran kind of a funny route to it. Either it was hit a lot harder than he thought, or it came down quicker. But it looked like he had a beat on it, but he wasn't even near it.
So 1-0 Phillies with a runner in scoring position. Here's Ibanez. Ibanez 4 for 15 so far on the year. As Tolley makes a nice play on that ball in the dirt. Last night, Mike Nicky is caught for the Mets.
Playing Ibanez is almost straight away in the outfield. A lot of teams cheat towards left center on him. You see where Pagan is almost directly behind second base.
He's also playing pretty deep, too.
You know what, Tom, having watched him a lot in the last 2 years now, he does play a deep center field. Saw how deep he was on Rollins, as you described that he went back, but he has great speed. So he was able to come in and get that ball because it had enough hang time. But he's a deep center fielder.
Now that wouldn't be deep at Citi Field.
No.
Opposite way, that's going to drop in for a base hit. Howard's going to score easily from second. Ibanez with the RBI. He'll hold up at first as Harris gets it in quickly. It's 2-0 Phillies.
Well, good job by the Phillies here in the first inning. The Mets didn't make the Phillies pay, and the Phillies are making the Mets pay here.
I'll tell you what, Ibanez is picking up in this first half, right where he left off in the second half last year.
Comes with a high sinker. Whack. That's a good job. As you said, he's picking up where he left off. That's a ball, if you try to pull it, you roll it over the second baseman. He went with it and hit it well to left field.
So now Ben Francisco gets a chance to bat here in the first with the Phillies up 2-0. Francisco off to a good start. Probably would have a better start if the wind wasn't blowing in last night.
He said he can't hit it any harder than he did that second one. He said that was without a doubt my best ball. He said, well, we were kind of saying the same thing. And how could you hit it any harder than that?
Line drive to left. Harris is there. Boy, oh boy. Harris is fortunate. That ball just didn't take him right onto the wall. It was hit so hard by Francisco. 2 runs on 3 hits. The last RBI by Ibanez, and the Phillies take a 2-0 lead. It's 2-0 as we go to the second. Joe Blanton will face Angel Pagan, Ike Davis, and Brad Emis. And the first pitch to Pagan is taken down and away, 1-0.
Yeah, well, for all intents and purposes, it sure looked like they're going to be behind in this game.
Pagan off to a slow start, 2 for 14, but good numbers against Blanton in just 9 at bats. Two and 1 the count. So much has been made about the Phillies starting rotation, and for obvious reasons. Roy Halladay leading the way, then Cliff Lee and Roy Oswalt, and Cole Hamels and Joe Blanton. Talking to Rich Doobie before the ball game today, a lot of teams do skip their 5th starter at this point in the year, and the Phillies easily could have done that this time. They could have done it next week. And Rich Doobie said there's just no way he could do that because Blanton's such a big part of this team, and he pitched so well in spring training. And he said, you know what? Everybody can use the extra day from time to time. It'll help out later on this year.
That's so true, Tom. You know, that's a great point there, because at some point later on, you know, these guys are great veteran pitchers, the three you're talking about. Of course, Cole is a younger guy, but they can use a day off once, or skip turn once in a while, or an extra day, and that'll help. You factor in an off day once in a while and a 5-man rotation.
Well, Joe Blanton is a very casual guy who's an unbelievable competitor. And guys like Cliff Lee, who's part of this rotation, and Roy Halladay, so much has been made about the front four of this rotation. And all of those guys, every time something is brought up about the rotation, they always say, let's make sure we include Joe Blanton. And that's a good thing. And that's how well these guys get along. As Ike Davis hits one down the left field line, slicing foul out of play.
It was funny during the press conference down there. That was really neat to see all 5 of them sitting up together that afternoon in Clearwater, and they're talking about how many guys have World Series. Well, only Cole Hamels has a World Series ring, and Joe went, hold it. Wait, I got one. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, you do have one. Don't forget about me. Roy Oswald has pitched in the World Series.
Davis tries to check his swing. It's a little low, 1-2.
Obviously, Cliff Lee has pitched in a World Series, but they have not pitched for a winning team in a World Series. And Roy Halladay hasn't pitched in a World Series. That's why he came here.
Slow roller toward third. Polanco to his left. That was a good pitch by Blanton. 2 outs here in the second.
Halladay said that all along. You won't have a chance to pitch in a World Series. And now he gets an extra day's rest this week.
Hey, it's opening day for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide. Compliments of Scott's. 2 outs. Brad Emis is the hitter.
Blanton really pitching his game right now. Spotting his fastball, getting a lot of outs on all-speed pitches.
At the knees with that fastball, and it's 0-1. A lot of outs with the off-speed pitches to the left-handed hitters. Off the plate. That'll be a tough play. Polanco charges, and it took a spinning hop right past his bare hand. The only way he would have gotten Emis is if he would have picked that ball on the hop with his bare hand, and it had to be perfect.
Yeah, and as you said, I mean, we can't see from this angle, but that thing looked like it took a left turn. It looked like it hits and then just, whoa, there it goes. Opposite direction.
He was going in the right area.
And has nothing to do with Mike Buchholz's field.
Does a wonderful job.
Wonderful
and the field
job.
Is beautiful.
Nice job, Mike.
The field is not settling.
No. That was a really dumb remark. Whoever made it.
Here's Josh Tolley with 2 outs. Ground ball to second. To his right is Orr. Short way to second, and the side is retired. No runs. A hit. 1 man left here at the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second, and that guy, Pete Orr, will lead it off. of this month to start a 3-game series that starts at the end of April, ends on the first day of May. That first day of May is an 8 o'clock start. It's a Sunday night game because of national television. Get your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. Bottom of the second, Pete Orr leads it off. Pete Orr has turned out to be a pretty good story, at least so far here in 2011. Signed as a minor league free agent by the Phillies. And he hits one back toward the middle. Reyes gets to it. Behind the bag, off balance throw. Not in time. There was no way they were going to get Orr, but Reyes made it awfully close.
Agree. When that was hit, you think there's no way you're going to get him. And then Reyes just, he's amazing.
How about Pete Orr already has a fan club out there? Orr's Oars.
Look where Reyes winds up after he throws this thing. First of all, that's remarkable that he even gets to it. Like Jimmy Rollins, though, he can flick a ball harder than most people can throw it overhand. Pete beats the play, and Reyes was out in right field.
And nobody was covering second, so a handful of guys all of a sudden sprinted to second. So Orr's on first. Here's Brian Schneider, his first at-bat of the year and his first start. And he takes one on the outside corner for a strike.
Charlie was talking the night before the game that he really likes his bench and he likes some of his extra men, and he wants to try to get them some at-bats. And he felt, well, Brian Schneider, perfect game to catch tonight, kind of a day game tomorrow, 3 o'clock start. And he thought that, you know, he'd like to get Pete Orr in there against Pelfrey because he was 2 for 4 against him.
Line drive to left. Harris coming on, and he grabs the sinking liner out of the air.
There have been some hard outs in this game off the bats of the Phillies.
Almost seemed like Harris was watching that the whole time because he was afraid of losing it in the lights.
I thought he did lose it in the lights for a split second, but you're right. He was trying to do everything possible not to lose it in the lights, and he did. Nice play.
So 1 out. Here's Blanton. Blanton is probably up there to sacrifice Orr to scoring position. Wright's charging at third. And Blanton bunts it in the air. Pelfrey lets it drop. He'll go to first. Nope, it goes right on by Emis.
Oh, my.
He tried to outthink everybody. Orr goes to third. Blanton's up at second. And the Phillies have 2 runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the second.
Man, you know what he's thinking there? He's going to go to first. He figures Orr's slowed up between first, and he's going to go get the force out at first on the batter and then get the throw to second for a tag double play. And as you said, he just outthought him. And now Worthen wants to come out because this guy can blow sky high.
Absolutely.
Sometimes. And he wants to come out and talk to him right now. And here come the infielders in. They know Pelfrey's makeup. Now, right there, he lets it drop on purpose. Now, he's going to throw to first, and he thinks he'll get Blanton. And see, they would have had a heck of a shot at Orr then at second on a tag play. And what happens? He throws a bar of soap over there to first. Is that Emis there?
That was Emis.
He gives Emis no chance to catch it. And then down the line it goes, second and third. This is something you really hope the Phillies can take advantage of because that was a really bad play.
There's Emis talking to Reyes. We'll see how they score that. They could score an error all the way, or they could score the sacrifice. I think they're going to score an error all the way.
I think I just heard him say sacrifice.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
We'll
that makes sense.
But I agree with you because that ball was popped up in the air, and I don't know whether you can. I don't know whether you can just say, well, it would have been caught, because I'm surprised if you give a sack there.
Well, runners on second and third. The infield is in.
They give him one?
I believe they just gave him a sacrifice. Sacrifice E1.
Well, there could be a scoring rule in there. I don't know.
Victorino tripled his first time up and scored. And he takes a pitch off the outside corner. The infield, as we just said, was in halfway, but it's in a little bit more than halfway at this point. Emis is closer than Reyes. One guy has a stronger arm than the other. Up high, 2-0. Talk about this ballpark getting in the heads of the opposition. It's creeping right now inside the mind of Mike Pelfrey.
Oh, he's out there thinking, what was that? All I do have to do is catch it. I've got 2 outs and a man on first.
Instead, 1 out and 2 in scoring position. 2-0 to Victorino. And the pitch. That's over for a strike.
It's funny, he didn't even look at Pedor. It was almost like they were yelling first at him, which, you know, at that point, that's okay, too. Just go to first and get the out there, even if you don't get the runner, Pedor, going into second base.
Whoa. 3-1. Well, Victorino should get a good pitch to hit here. Polanco waits on deck as the Phillies are trying to cash in on a mistake by Pelfrey here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, it's a good point, Tom. You don't want to swing at something off speed now.
On the outside corner. He didn't come in with a fastball. He came in with a breaking ball.
That was a good one. That's a heck of a pitch on a 3-1 count with the trouble he's in. Outstanding pitch.
Opposite way. Reyes on the backhand. Only play is to first because of the speed of Moore into the direction of that ground ball. A run scores, and it's 3-0 Phillies.
Great base running. I almost think they went on contact then. He did get a tremendous jump, but usually you don't get that good a jump unless you're going on contact. Reyes had no shot at him. Knew it right away.
So the Phils get an extra run here in the second. Victorino, a run scored, a triple, now an RBI. He's 1 for 2.
A good job by Shane to make contact here. Let's see, is he going contact now? Ball's hit. Yep. Went on contact. Got a tremendous jump off third. Reyes took a look. If he hadn't gone on contact, he's got a play on him if he tries to score.
Part of what Charlie Manuel and Greg Gross have been talking about. Just make contact with less than 2 outs and good things could happen. And we just saw something good happen. Polanco lines one into center field, a base hit. Blanton's to third. He'll be held there. Pagan got it in quickly. And the Phillies have runners on first and third here in the bottom of the second.
Funny, I was looking up some of Joe Blanton's stats, and he scored 8 runs last year, which is, you wonder, what?
Cat-like, Wheels.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, maybe you're going to have a chance of scoring from second, but that ball was just hit too hard. As you said, Pagan got a great jump on it. Juan Samoa just going to run him into contact here. It's a high sinker. Polanco hits it hard. There he is on it. 2 bounces. Comes up throwing. Got to stop him there. But Joe, you know, he can run the bases for a big guy. You wonder how to get on base enough to score 8 times.
Worked out a few walks.
Well, he had 7 hits last year.
Here's Rollins, and he takes a strike. Rollins fly to center his first time up. I was talking to Jimmy last night about his ball in the gap that died, and Beltran tracked it down. I said, boy, you really hit that one hard. He said, that one? Forget about that one. How about the one I hit to center and I didn't get anything out of it?
It was pretty hard last night to do anything from the right of center, from the left of center field as we look out there, because everything was just getting knocked down.
I also asked him, he was wearing those glasses last night, and he said they weren't sunglasses. He said he was wearing them because of the wind and all the dust that was flying around. He was trying to keep the dust out of his eyes. Tries to check, and they'll appeal. No swing, says Chris Guccione.
He hasn't thrown many splitters tonight. That looked like he threw one there trying to get a strikeout.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Rockies held on and defeated the Dodgers 7-5. Troy Tulowitzki hit a home run in that ball game. Rockies seemed to use just about everybody in their bullpen to finish off that game.
Yeah, Houston Street finally was out there at the end.
One and two the count to Rollins with runners on first and third. The pitch from Pelfrey. Swing and a miss. He got him. Off speed pitch. And Rollins is retired. The Phillies do get one on 2 hits. They leave 2. We go to the third. It's 3-0 Phils. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, Wheels, Joe Blanton hit a home run in Game 4 of the 08 World Series off what pitcher? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Probably a Ray, right?
It would be. Yeah. You're on the right track, Wheels. You've got several innings to figure it all out.
I think the fans will get that one tonight.
3-0 Phils. We go to the top of the third. Hey, tomorrow on Comcast Sportsnet, all 5 starters discuss the enormous expectations for this season. And Jimmy Rollins discusses one of the biggest seasons of his career. Don't miss Phillies Clubhouse presented by Ransom Cat tomorrow afternoon at 2 before the Phils-Mets game on Comcast Sportsnet.
And this is where it all fell apart last night in the 3rd inning. The pitcher leading off got a hit. And Cole Hamels has struggled in that inning. You know, the Mets found some holes. They broke some bats, a couple of walks, a pass ball, just a really ugly inning.
Charlie Manuel said he thought that Cole rushed himself during that inning as it went on, that the game sort of sped up for him. I thought that was an interesting point. If you think about it, he was getting the ball, getting back to the mound, firing as fast as he could, and just couldn't settle the game down at all.
And the best part that came out of last night is everybody you talked to down there today said he's fine. He's healthy. You know, his stuff was there last night. He couldn't locate his fastball the way he wanted. And everybody seems to think he's going to be just fine, even though he had a tough spring and a tough first start.
A strikeout for Blanton. That's his 3rd of the game. See the line on Hamels last night. 2 2/3, 6 runs, 7 hits, a couple of walks and 3 strikeouts. And statistically, it was one of the worst starts of his career.
Well, he'll have a chance to go out those Atlanta Braves and Derek Lowe on Sunday.
Here's Reyes, who bunted his last time on, or his last time up, and the count is 0-1. See the way the infield is set up. Polanco and Howard both cheating in a little.
Gives you a lot of room to slap balls the other way or pull one.
Well, now they could step back with 2 strikes on the board. Oh, 2 the count to Reyes. Outside and high, 1-2. In the air to left field. Ibanez was playing shallow. He goes back and under it. And there are 2 outs. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the White Sox edge the Royals 10-7. Carlos Quentin's having a heck of a start for Chicago. 4 for 6, a home run and a double. Look at that ballpark out in Kansas City. It is totally different than the way it looked 2 years ago. They make changes, it seems, every year to that ballpark.
Just, I remember seeing the highlights at first. And I thought, where are they playing? Were they still? Did they have to stay in Florida for for a couple, or in Arizona in their case?
Willie Harris, the hitter. Harris out in front.
Always used to looking out there and seeing that wide expanse in center field with a waterfall and all. And they're still out there, but there's seats closing in on them now. Very different looking.
A lot of seats behind home plate out there too. 1-1 the count to Harris. Line drive, 1 hopper past Orr into right center field. Francisco gets to it quickly. He'll hold Harris to a single. So Willie Harris has hit in all 4 of his starts this year. And he's aboard for right. Well, Joe Blanton seems like he's picked up right where he left off in spring training, Wheels. He's around the strike zone. He's got good velocity on his fastball, and his changeup has been good.
And he talked a lot in spring training about working on his curveball too, and he got a big strikeout of David Wright on a curveball in the first inning.
Looking.
And
there's a fastball to start this at bat. It's 0-1. Wright was fooled on the 0-1 pitch. It was a cutter, and it's no balls at 2 strikes.
Had a little late movement at the very end, the way a cut fastball will do.
Got him. High fastball. All 3 pitches were in one way, shape, or form a fastball from Joe Blanton. Different spots, different movement. He's picked up his 4th of the game. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, and another strikeout as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Come see what's new for 2011 today at your Honda dealer. By W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason for amazingly low office product prices. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines do Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Well, Joe Blanton's through 3 so far. He's allowed 3 hits, but he's also picked up some strikeouts. He has 4 so far through the first 3 innings.
Well, he's a hits per innings guy, or a little bit more sometimes, but the reason he keeps games.
How about this one? Howard in the air, straight away center field. Pagan going back, no chance. Deep into the bushes. Ryan Howard straight away center field. It's his 2nd homer of the year, and the Phillies are on top 4-0.
I want to make sure I got out of your way there because I knew where that was headed.
Your head was turned and you heard the shot.
I heard it. I heard it. And I looked up and I said, "Well, that looks like an 8-iron flying out there." It was so high. They had a breaking ball too. It looked like, and that baby was way up in the air and into the shrubbery.
And Frank Guido of Reading, PA, you've just won $200 courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot. And Ryan Howard, career home run number 255 as he closes in on Del Ennis and 2nd place all time in Phillies history.
That just sounded like a home run.
Oh, yeah.
Guys like him, it just makes a different sound when they hit them.
So 4-0 Phillies here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 balls and 1 strike to Ibanez.
Blanton, he's pitching his game tonight. He's going to give up some base runners, but he tries to stay away from walks, and he doesn't give in. Well, he gives in as far as his stuff does, but he battles like heck out there with men on base. A lot of times the expression doesn't give in baseball means you'll use your, well, he does. He'll use his off-speed stuff instead of throwing a fastball. So far, so good tonight.
Inside and low, 3-2 to Ibanez. Raul singled homer run his first time up. Pelfrey's given up 6 hits and 4 runs so far in 2+ innings of work.
I think he likes this place.
Back toward the middle. That's a scorcher. Ibanez is 2 for 2. It's his 4th hit of the series. And Dan Worthen's going to the pen.
Boy, the left-handed hitters are really getting good swings at him. He threw 2 splits to Jimmy last inning, Jimmy Rollins, and got him on strikes on a check swing and then another one. But for the most part, he's not using that pitch to the left-handed hitters, which is kind of surprising the way they're swinging at him.
Here's Francisco. He lined out to left his first time up. And he takes a pitch inside.
Boy, this guy's hitting into some tough luck right now.
Taylor Buchholz up and throwing in the pen.
Springfield, Delaware County High School.
Former Philly draft pick.
Springfield Delco.
Did you talk to him at all, Wheels, and talk about the victory that Marple Newtown had over Springfield a couple days ago?
Is that they beat him in baseball?
Yeah.
No. But that used to be a great rivalry when I was there with Lou Bonder at Marple Newtown and Harry Ace Bell at Springfield. Two really good coaches.
Outside and high, 3-0.
Buchholz went to the same high school that produced Mike Socia.
Francisco takes with a count 3-0. Fastball that came in right at the knees, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike to him.
Francisco's due to get a bleeder somewhere. He deserves a broken bat head or something that just kind of dribbles through the infield. Two, nobody out. It probably won't run here.
Ibanez has a short lead off first. Now he creeps off a little bit more. He goes. And Francisco fouls it back to the Hall of Fame club.
Well, Charlie likes the way Francisco's swinging the bat, because the one thing you don't ever want to do is strike out into a double play for the first 2 outs. And a lot of times, you know, you worry about a line drive too, but he may have just told Juan Samuel to let him go again.
Well, Pelfrey peeked over there once, but then didn't look over again.
Yeah. And you know, the key to what you're doing over there as a runner is no jump involved. It's just in motion.
Well, he's in motion again. Pitch is high. Ball 4. The Phillies have runners on first and second. Hey, take the Phillies with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Phillies game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Van Worthen's out to the mound to talk to Pelfrey. This is his second trip of the night.
Well, Pelfrey only went 4 1/3 his last time out. I mentioned through that grand slam home run to right center to John Buck, who is now the starting catcher for the Florida Marlins. Gave up 5 runs in that game, 4 walks through 97 pitches in 4 1/3 inning.
He was matched up against Josh Johnson that night, who had a no-hitter into the 7th.
Right.
There's Chris Young, who pitched so well last night into the 6th inning for the Mets. I asked him today about his splitter because it was so good. I said, when did you start throwing? He said, well, spring training.
I asked you that yesterday. Did this guy ever throw a split before? Because it was on, on all the scouting reports on him throwing splitters, and it was a good one.
Pete Orr is the batter, and Orr swings at the first pitch and fouls it back.
What was your mind? I always thought of him as a fastball, breaking ball, changeup type of guy.
Yeah, his slider was his out pitch, and it probably still is considered his out pitch, but that splitter is going to slide into that scouting report a little bit more,
especially against left-handed hitters.
Off the end of the bat, a flare to left. Reyes goes out. Harris comes in. Reyes just looked at Harris and wondered where he was. The throw to third, off the glove of right, and everybody's safe.
Yeah, the Mets are really sloppy tonight. That's just a bad play, and he's not going to survive this inning. Terry Collins is going to come get Pelfrey right now. Yeah, that ball has to be caught by Willie Harris. He got very poor jump on it, and Reyes has no chance to catch that.
So a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies with the bases loaded and nobody out. Taylor Buchholz is coming in. And Mike Pelfrey's evening has come to a close very early. This is a nice bounce back so far for the Phillies. With nobody out here in the 3rd, they have the bases juiced. We have an AT&T call to the bullpen. We'll be back after this. innings tonight, and the 3 runners on base are his responsibility. Look at that line, and that line may not be done just yet because there's nobody out with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 3rd. So a good night for the Phillies so far. Now let's see if they can take advantage even more. As Taylor Buchholz coming back from Tommy John surgery, it's taken him a little longer to bounce back. He was turning himself into a pretty good relief pitcher before Tommy John surgery.
He was at Colorado for a while. Of course, he was traded originally to Houston in the Billy Wagner deal.
So he's on with the bases loaded, nobody out. Brian Schneider is the batter here in the home 3rd. Schneider lined out to left his first time up. And a breaking ball over for a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. So Brian's numbers with the bases loaded. That's a good average with a couple of grand slams. Mets play the infield at double play depth with nobody out. And a little low, 1-1. Brian Schneider grew up in Northampton, PA, gets a chance to play for the Phillies. Taylor Buchholz, drafted by the Phillies, grew up in Springfield. And when he was asked about coming back here to Citizens Bank Park and pitching for the Mets, you know, wearing the uniform of one of the Phillies' biggest rivals, he said, yeah, I guess it is going to be kind of weird. But he said, I'm just excited about having a uniform to wear and being healthy.
Yeah, he had a great arm. You know, the Phillies, he was one of those kids that they really didn't want to deal. But, you know, they had a chance to get Billy Wagner, and that was when they were really starting to turn things around and become a good team.
One and two, the count to Schneider.
This is the key to the inning for him.
And Schneider way out in front of that hanger, and he pulls it into the stands on the first base side. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Washington is shutting out Florida 3-0. Ian Desmond a double and an RBI. Livan Hernandez, who pitched so well on opening day, didn't get a whole lot of run support. Well, he's gotten 3 runs tonight against Chris Volstad. And a good off-speed pitch. Schneider's out in front and down on strikes.
See, that's what we mean. That's the key to the inning right there, because, you know, if you're a pitcher and you come in and you control the 8-hole hitter, then you think, well, I have the pitcher and I get 2 outs. Do a changeup, and it did dive a little bit there at the end, but you know, it was up. It's certainly not the kind of pitch where he wants to throw it there.
Now you figure if Schneider was back a little bit more, he might have been able to get the bat on the ball.
That thing had to look like a balloon coming up there.
Well, Blanton bunted his last time up, but wound up reaching on an error by Pelfrey. Batting with the bases loaded, the corners up, the middle back, and he takes a breaking ball off the outside corner. See the runners leading off, and you see the setup of the Mets infield. Well, he got a piece of it, and it's 1-1.
Joe is aggressive. He likes to hit, especially when he saw a fastball.
Fanatic a little more active tonight, because the Phillies are a little more active tonight.
Yeah, a little bit more going on.
Yep.
Plus side. Well, they'd sure like to make something happen here, even though you're at the bottom of the order when the Mets made that miscue in the outfield.
Outside, 2-1. Robert Person in 2002 against the Expos.
Yep. I think he had 7 RBIs in that game.
He had one of those American Legion Babe Ruth high school days.
Unbelievable.
He pitched well and he hit well.
Yeah, he really helped himself.
Chopper toward third, right past right down the left field line. Ibanez scores. Here comes Francisco. Orr goes to third. It's a 2-run single for Joe Blanton. How about that?
Boy, these 2 games are a tale of 2 different teams. One night it's the Mets night. Right now it's the Phillies night.
Remember last night you were talking about the Mets base running, how good it was. They went from first to third on a ball to left. Well, Blanton hits the ball to left and Orr goes first to third after 2-run score.
Yeah, it was good base running that set that inning up for the Mets last night. David Wright is playing way off the line, and that makes sense because he's thinking, well, he's not going to pull this guy. No chance. And Joe did just that. He pulled it. Takes a big turn. He said, oh, get me a don't know I better not. Good point too, Tom, about Pete Orr. That was tremendous base running by him.
So 6-0 Phillies. Here's Victorino, who's 1 for 2.
So just want to look like Taylor Buchholz may have a chance to get out of this thing if he can get the pitcher out and then face Victorino with 2 outs. Phillies are really after him tonight. They scored in every inning.
Now time is called. Josh Tolley wanted to move Ike Davis behind Blanton. Down the right field line. He got out in front of it.
That's that hit that Joe Blanton got with some of the regulars are sitting there going, why can't I get one like that? Why can't I hit me a 100-hopper where nobody's playing? But David Wright had to play where he was. He's trying to take away the hole in case he hit one that way because he figured, well, he's not going to pull the ball.
And a breaking ball called strike 3. It's a pretty good hook by Buchholz.
Had 2 straight games now where the pitcher has been a big factor for a team in the 3rd inning.
Taylor Buchholz's family, they enjoyed that. Buchholz is a former 6th-round pick by the Phillies. Was supposed to go to the University of North Carolina on a baseball scholarship and then signed with the Phils.
Kenny Holtzapfel signed him. Ken Holtzapfel was a batting practice pitcher for a number of years, and his nickname, Tom, was Cutter because he could not throw the ball straight. Guys hated to hit off him. They didn't want to be in Cutter's group.
Nowadays, they'd probably want to be in his group because the cutter is such a big pitch in baseball.
Yeah, it would give you, but when you're in batting practice, you want it nice and straight. You don't want a guy out there with movement throwing BP to you.
Oh, and 1 the count to Polanco. Polanco 1 for 2. Like Victorino, he's been up now in all 3 innings. That's a productive night.
Yeah, this is, you get your scorebook out from last night. This looks like what the Mets did to the Phillies, and the score's the same. They got all theirs in 1 inning, though, to the Mets.
Another breaking ball. That's over for a strike. 0-2 the count to Polanco.
Good curveball he saw.
Polanco flares it to right center field. It'll drop in for a base hit or scores, and the Phillies lead it 7-0. Boy, this is a nice inning for the Phillies.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they've taken advantage of some stuff the Mets have done. They've hit them hard. They've hit them soft. I'm saying it just reminds you of the game last night. Only this one's more fun to watch.
Well, the book is closed on Mike Pelfrey. 7 runs, 6 earns. He just fought that one off.
Yep. That's all it was. He got jammed. It was a pretty good pitch that Taylor Buchholz made to him. But, you know, Polanco doesn't swing and miss that much.
Well, Rollins, the 9th man to bat in the inning. The Phillies have batted around here in the 3rd. On the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count to Rollins. Hitless in 2 at-bats. And it's even 1 ball and 1 strike. Rollins out in front, and it's 1-2.
Well, he's seeing a lot of splits and changeups with these right-handers.
He's swinging so well, you would think that he'd be able to stay back a little bit and make some contact.
Well, he's like all good hitters. They want to hit a fastball early in the count.
In the dirt, 2-2. Rollins enters tonight's ball game with 997 career runs. If he reaches 1,000, and he should soon, be the 310th player in Major League Baseball history to reach that number. There've been a lot of major leaguers, and to be one of 310 may not sound like a big deal. That's a big deal.
Well, he has a lot of impressive things to throw up when you figure this is the most valuable player, too.
2-2 the count to Rollins, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him out in front of a breaking ball. Buchholz picks up 3 strikeouts in the inning, but the Phillies bat around. Ryan Howard started this rally, turned out to be a 4-run inning for the Phillies. His 2nd home run of the season, deep into the bushes as we go to the 4th. That's why the Phillies buy office supplies from WB Mason. For amazingly low prices on office supplies, furniture, cleaning supplies, kitchen snacks, and Green Mountain coffee. Who but WB Mason? Now Ryan Howard belted his 2nd home run of the season. It was a long one to straightaway center field. And he inches closer to Del Ennis on the all-time home run list in Phillies history, trying to Ty Del Ennis for second place. Mike Schmidt, of course, leads the way. He'll be a tough one for anybody to catch. Phillies went 20-9 last year when Ryan Howard homered. And he's such a big part of this offense. He's 2 for 2 already as Gary Matthews joins us. You must have liked that swing, Sarge.
Like the way he's hitting the ball hard, staying through the ball, and when he hits it to center field, you know that he is right with his stroke.
Carlos Beltran leads it off for the Mets here in the top of the 4th, and Joe Blanton fires a strike, and it's 0-1. Beltran flied out to left his first time up, and he lines that pitch foul, and it's 0-2. That fly ball to left was a big out in the first because it got Blanton out of a jam after Reyes reached, went to second on a stolen base and third on a throwing error, all before Blanton retired his first batter as he hits Beltran. And he's aboard to start the 4th.
Looks like this breaking ball bounces and then hits him. It looks like right on that front foot.
So Beltran's on first. He'll be held out by Howard. Here's Angel Pagan, who grounded to second his first time up. Mets have had a base runner at each inning so far. But really the only time Blanton was in trouble was that first. Slicing the left center field, Victorino on the run. He's not going to get that one. It's gone. Wow, it carried right into the first row to the left of the State Farm sign. And the Mets are on the board, a 2-run home run. I thought that ball was going to stay in the yard, Sarge.
That gives you an indication of how this ball carries. Left-handed hitter hitting that ball deep into left center, more almost center field. That's usually where the big boys hit them. Pagan showing you some power. Gets a hold of, I'm sure, a fastball. You can see how that ball was just hit as it was going, and just over the railing as the ball hit.
Well, first home run of the year for Pagan. So 7-2 Phillies here at the top of the 4th. And Ike Davis the batter, and Davis takes a pitch inside and low. Pagan had just a couple hits before that home run.
That was a fastball. It broke right back over the heart of the plate.
Davis out in front of a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ike Davis last year in his rookie year hit 19 home runs at 71 RBIs for the Mets.
Good pitch, throws that hard sinker that's down. That's where he wants to throw that ball. That ball that Pagan hit was more up in the zone. He'll have a lot more success with that ball down.
2-2 the count. Just got a glimpse at Pedro Beato, who's loosening in the pain for the Mets. Blanton with 51 pitches and nobody out here in the 4th. And a called strike 3. Davis knew it right at the knees. 1 away.
Well, you can see the movement on that pitch that was down. Just a great pitch. Nothing that a hitter can do. Starts inside, moves away, all the way on the outside part of the plate. But he's got a lot of movement on his pitches so far tonight.
Brad Emis hits one back toward the middle. Rollins dives, knocks it down, and that'll be a base hit. Emis has 2 hits. And here's Josh Thole. Thole bounced into an inning-ending fielder's choice his first time up. And he takes a pitch on the outside corner.
So very aggressive in throwing his strikes. First pitch strikes. Not just strikes, though. Pretty much quality strikes. staying on the corners.
Towards shortstop, that could be two. Rollins has it, gets his bearings, throws low to first, dug out by Howard. A good defense by the big man over at first. Rollins started the double play, and Ryan Howard certainly finished the double play. In the inning, the Mets do get 2 runs on 2 hits, a 2-run home run, and then Joe Blanton gets the ground ball double play to finish off the inning. Out of the 4th. Ryan Howard's due to lead it off. And speaking of Ryan Howard, it's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Boy, just back-legging that ball. Straight away center field. No doubt about it.
Ryan has a double and that home run. There's Jimmy Rollins, who started that double play to finish off the top of the 4th. Settling in, getting a chance to watch his good friend lead off the home 4th. Mentioned that Howard is zeroing in on Del Ennis for 2nd place all time in home runs for the Phillies. Ennis had 259 home runs. Howard has 255. Taylor Buchholz first pitch inside 1-0. Good numbers to start the year for Howard.
More importantly, you got to like the way that he's come back and responded after last night's ball game, because a lot of times those kind of games can get you down, especially the way that they lost. Thought early on that New York had a lot of energy, and they did last night, and Fighting Phillies have come back and given them a little taste of their own medicine.
Opposite way, down the line, doesn't have enough distance. It is off the top of the wall. Howard around first, heading to 2nd. He has his 2nd double of the night. Man, is he strong.
Well, boy, he's got a little smile on his face as he almost took the left field wall down as he hit the ball so hard. One of the reasons Charlie really likes him, he'll talk about the big piece, and when he's hitting the ball, he does damage. He just doesn't hit singles. And take a look at this. So strong, hits the ball the other way. That's why he doesn't even have to try to pull any of the balls. He doesn't stride, hitting on his back foot. Ball going off the wall there. A little bit higher, the ball would have been a home run. Wonder what he had for breakfast here.
You think he needed to have a little bit more?
Well, just a little bit. Maybe another little half of a glass of orange juice or something.
Yeah, he certainly had enough distance. It was a matter of the height.
Yeah, when they're hit like that, outfielder just has to go for the angle, because you know you're not going to catch up with it.
Here's Ibanez. Ibanez 2 for 2, and he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, here's another one that's been hitting that ball hard and really taking a look at his pitches. Been taking a lot of first pitch strikes. being able to come back and serve singles and hitting the ball hard.
Howard in scoring position. Phillies have had a ton of base runners tonight.
Well, that's how you put pressure on the opposition, by having base runners, keeping that pitcher in the stretch.
Little dribbler to the right of the mound. Buchholz gives a look at Howard. And Ibanez is retired. One away. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Quality Plus Ford stores. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com.
Pretty good base running there by Ryan Howard.
I was surprised Buchholz even gave him a look.
Well, he looked, but he didn't see him. He looked back and he didn't see him. And he kept running. He took the easy out.
Infield is in halfway for the Mets with Francisco at the plate. And he lays off a breaking ball.
Good hard breaking ball he has. Good curveball.
Another breaking ball, 2-0. Sarge, last night we talked about Francisco hitting those two balls hard to left field. And on a different night, let's say tonight, they would have been out of the yard.
Would have been out of the yard, and if he had a few more ounces on his bat, would have been out of the yard. He uses right about, I'm sure, 32 ounces. Most of the guys are using 31, 32. Back in the day, it would be 34, 35.
Well, tell me why that makes such a big difference. I mean, for you as a hitter.
If you can weight back, the heavier the bat, the better. Because once you hit the ball, it's in the sweet spot. Because it's heavier, it's going to go further. You know, a lot of guys that have good bat speed. Ryan Howard won. He uses a pretty light bat, but he's a lot stronger.
3-0 the count to Francisco. Got the green light, and he lifted it foul into the Hall of Fame club.
Boy, Charlie, we've seen him do that. You swing well, he's going to give you the 3-0 with that infield in, and that's a good time to hit with it being 3-0.
A souvenir for that gentleman there. That's how he caught it, folks. It's okay. He got it.
Francisco talked about he hit that ball last night right on the sweet spot, and he thought it was going to go.
And a called strike 2, 3-2. So that gentleman make that catch, and then he presented the ball to the youngster right behind him.
Well, you can tell he has a good curveball anytime he buckles the hitter's legs, especially from the right side. Tells you that it's difficult to pick up. Sort of like a Don Sutton type curveball, or Kurt Blyleven.
Swing and a miss. There is that breaking ball. And there are 2 outs. Hey, the Florida Marlins will be here beginning Friday, April 15th. That's Jackie Robinson night around Major League Baseball. All the players will be wearing the number 42 on both teams. In fact, the umpires will be wearing the number 42 as well in honor of Jackie Robinson. That series winds down with the Fanatic's birthday, brought to you by Citizens Bank. Limited seats are available for all 3 games. Go to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets today. With 2 outs, here's Pete Orr, who has 2 hits tonight, has scored 2 runs. And he lays off the first pitch, and it's a strike. Phillies are 5 for 13 with runners in scoring position so far in this game.
those easy RBI situations, again, are the ones that you want to be able to pick up, especially early in the game. That's what you do. You tack on. Doesn't have to have a base hit. Francisco had a great opportunity, 3-0. You know, had his pitches to hit, so can't complain. Got a 3-0 fastball and fouled it straight back, right on it.
Swing and a miss, and Buchholz comes back and strikes out the last two hitters with a runner at third. So he works out of a jam here in the fourth. We go to the top of the fifth with the Phillies up by 5. A pinch hitter for the Mets. Taylor Buchholz's night is done. And the first pitch by Blanton is off the outside corner. Murphy pitch hit in last night's ball game. He's 1 for 5 overall. Beato is loosening up again in the pen for the Mets. Good off-speed pitch. 2-2 the count. I think that's the pitch to me that's gotten better and better for Blanton as we take a look at the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Brewers, who shut out the Braves last night, winning again in the bottom of the first tonight. And a called strike 3.
I got to tell you, he's doing some serious painting there himself as he hits that outside corner there. Movement on it. Look at that fastball. Nothing that the hitter can do as he takes a look at it. Joe Blanton on his game here tonight.
Well, I was saying about the changeup, Sarge. To me, the last year or so, and it's not always this case with Blanton on the mound, but a lot of times, particularly with these lefties, that changeup has really been a very good pitch.
Well, that's what you need. You need that off-speed pitch for that left-hander if you're a right-handed pitcher. Yes, they do see your ball a little bit better. So you need to make sure that you're able to have something off speed to get them off of your fastball.
Opposite way for Reyes. Ibanez on the run out to the warning track. He's not going to get to it. A hop off the wall and over his head. Reyes around second, and he puts the brakes on. A 1-out double.
Well, that's a little bit of power. Ibanez playing Reyes. Well, I would say kind of shallow. He got good wood on the ball. Another ball he gets up in the zone. Every time he does it, they hit the ball hard, and you can see he just couldn't get back to get that ball. Well, Reyes is just kind of like a little thorn in your side. I mean, he's very pesky. Makes the New York Mets really go. He's playing well, so are they.
Well, it's his second double of the year. Here's Harris. He takes a breaking ball for a strike.
And he'll still, you know, he's not afraid to steal bases at any time. Has excellent speed.
Not that he's Ricky Henderson, but that's how Henderson used to be. He'd steal third. I mean, Henderson said that he became the all-time leader in stolen bases really because he stole third.
Yeah, well, he stole a lot of other bases too, but he probably got a better jump stealing third. And one of the things for Ricky Henderson, when he took off, he was just about in full stride, in full speed, where it takes some of the other runners a little longer to get going.
Outside, 3-1 to Harris. Bland's got to be careful here.
Yep.
See Reyes and Mookie Wilson, 1-2 all time in stolen bases in Mets history. Reyes leads. Mookie is second as Harris takes a pitch off the outside corner.
It looked like Blanton kind of wanted that pitch, or maybe he felt it was a little bit outside. Still getting movement, and again, don't want to pitch out over the plate.
Hey fans, next time you want to catch a Phillies game, head to StubHub, where you'll find the seats you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Phillies. One out. David Wright is the hitter. Wright's 0 for 2. Blanton's gotten him twice. Once looking, once swinging. And he lays off the first pitch breaking ball.
Couldn't get David out, pitching him hard in last night. They left the ball out over the plate. Fighting Fields paid for it.
Back toward the middle. Rollins won't get to it. Reyes will score from second. Victorino gets to it quickly. The throw under the glove of Ryan Howard. And it's a 7-3 ball game. And Rich Doobie's going to come out to the mound. Well, this lead for the Phillies, which was 7-0, is now 7-3.
You still got to go out and pitch as if that score is 0-0. That ground ball, however, made a good pitch on him. Might just fought that through the hole. Could have easily have been a double play. You take a look at the bullpen. Rich Doobie just slowing him down a little bit. That ball come in on him. He's been throwing him in, and he's looking for that ball in as Victorino comes in. Makes a hard toss.
So Carlos Beltran, who's hit by a pitch his last time up, fly to left, is the hitter with 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Back toward the middle again, another base hit. Harris around third. He's heading home. Victorino's throw will go to the cutoff man, and it's now a 7-4 ball game, and the tying run is coming to the plate for the Mets.
Yeah, but Joe needs to be a little careful. Sometimes he'll get in the mode where he starts throwing strikes first pitch. Nothing wrong with that, but it's got to be quality strikes. Can't just throw that ball down that middle. Made a good pitch on right. That pitch seemed to catch a little bit more middle of the plate. You see that? And it's up. Once he gets that ball up, hitters are able to take a pretty good hack at him. They've been hitting the ball. He needs to get that ball down some to get the ground balls.
Well, here's Pagan, who homered his last time up, and you see Blanton's pitch count at 70 pitches with 1 out here in the 5th. And Pagan takes a strike. It's 0-1. McBillmeyer took the phone call from Rich Doobie. Somebody's going to start to get up and throwing. I think Antonio Bastardo is pulling the jacket off and the sweatshirt for the Phillies. Baez was up a moment ago. Line drive just past Jimmy Rollins into left field. Wright holds up at third, and the bases are now loaded.
Wow. But notice one thing, though. All those pitches have been up in the zone. Major league hitters will hit any of those pitches that will be up in the zone. Looking for a ground ball double play. Look at that one as it stays right up in the zone. If it's down, he won't be able to reach it. J-Will almost caught that ball. Pagan hitting that ball so hard, though, as it gets by him. Bastardo starting to heat up in the bullpen.
Sarge, how does he get the ball down in the zone?
Well, he's been getting on top, and his ball has been getting a lot of movement. Sometimes when pitchers don't get on top.
On the hands down the right field line. That's dropping in for a base hit. 3 runs may score on this one. 2 are going to score. Now Pagan's held at third. It's a 7-6 game.
Wow.
Well, they are going after Blanton very early in these at-bats this inning.
Well, the balls are up. All those balls are more hittable. Look where this ball is. Every single one of those balls have been up in the zone. Again, he made a good pitch on right. Had a chance for a double play. Wouldn't be in this mess, but this is where he is.
Emis offers at the first one. They appeal. No swings as the first base umpire, Mike Everett. 1-0 the count.
Those runners that should leave on third base never seem to be big until they start to end up inching back like they have, and then you look up some easy runs that you could have picked up.
Outside, 3-0. This may wind up being his last batter. Tolley's on deck. Bastardo is loosening in the pen. Ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Joe staring in. He wanted that pitch there. 3-0. It could be a pretty good pitch. Might have been a little bit down there. Charlie seems to be getting ready to come out now.
Well, the Mets have batted around, and Charlie Manuel is going to make a double switch. He's going out to talk to Mike Winters, the home plate umpire. Wilson Valdez has a glove. We'll see where he goes. A pitching change here at the top of the 5th. I don't think anybody saw this coming. The Phillies had a 7-0 lead. Joe Blanton was cruising. And now he's going to be out of this ball game before the end of the 5th. Wilson Valdez will come on to play second. Antonio Bastardo will come on to pitch. We'll be back after this. He had a 2-run base hit, and now all of a sudden he's given up 6 runs in the last 2 innings. Still 1 man out. The bases are loaded for the Mets, and Blanton's night is done after 4 1/3. So both starters are out of this ball game, and Antonio Bastardo takes over for the Phillies. here at the top of the fifth. Bastardo's appeared in just one game, and it was last night against the Mets. He had one strikeout, an inning of work. He'll bat seventh, and Wilson Valdez comes into the ballgame to play second base, and he'll hit ninth. There's Wilson. So the bases are loaded. Pagan's on third. Davis is on second. Emis is at first. And Josh Tolle is the batter. The Phillies set up to try to turn two and get out of this jam. And Bastardo delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. Daniel Murphy, who started this inning as a pinch hitter, he struck out. Well, he's on deck again. Oh, 2 the count.
Well, you look at the way that Joe Blanton was throwing it, and he had good stuff here tonight. You know, and he'll have those innings where he just seemed that he can't put the fire out and simply keeping the ball up.
Sarge, look at that stat. The Mets have allowed 17 grand slams since their last grand slam. They've already allowed 1 this season. The 0-2 pitch. Tolle doesn't strike out a whole lot. Late swing, but he got a piece of it.
Waiting back there, and that's all he wanted to do. He's kind of protecting the plate. Chokes up on the bat. We've talked about that before. It does give you a little bit better bat control.
Swing and a miss. He got him. He struck out 25 times last year. He's down on strikes here in the fifth.
Great pitch. Take a look at this. Good old-fashioned fastball as that ball comes inside. He's got a live arm, Bastardo.
Well, Daniel Murphy struck out to start the inning. Up for the second time, and he hits one the opposite way into left field, a base hit. A run will score, and this ball game is tied at 7. The Phillies led it 7-0, and the Mets have scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings, and the bases are still loaded. And all these runs charged to Joe Blanton's line. And now Reyes, who started the rally with a double the opposite way. It seemed innocent at the time.
First pitch fastball looking all the way, and he goes right with it. Didn't try and pull it.
Reyes has 2 hits tonight. And a swing and a miss. There's Davis on third. Look at the Mets offense did the first 3 innings tonight and what they've done the last 2 innings. Emis is on second and Murphy's at first.
Well, when he looks at the tape, he'll see balls that were up in the zone. Well, we talked about again Bastardo having a live and fast arm there. I mean, he throws the ball hard. He's gotten big leaguers out before there in winter ball. He needs to harness it here in the major leagues.
A liner to left. Ibanez in, makes the grab, and the side is finally retired. But the Mets tie it up. They scored 5 runs in the inning to pull even at 7 apiece. They sent 11 men to the plate. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th. 24/7. Go to csnphillies.com for breaking news on the Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, and Phils. Our team of insiders. Be the first to know the latest news on Phillies teams. Just text alerts to 53695 or sign up for alerts at csnphilly.com. Well, how about this storyline? Phillies were up 7-0 going to the top of the fourth, and the Mets scored 2 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, and now we're all even at 7 as Blaine Boyer, who has not pitched well against the Phillies in his career, is on the pitch here in the bottom of the fifth. Boyer lifetime is 0-4 with a 12.75 earned run average in 14 games against the Phillies. And here are his numbers overall. 3 hits in an inning and 2/3. One ball, one strike to count to Schneider. Sarge, you've been involved in games like this when you have a big lead and the other team comes back. They tie it up. How do you get it moving again?
Well, I mean, one hitter at a time, getting a base runner and scoring another run.
Grounded to second. Emis to his left a step or two.
I mean, these are the type of games that will give teams momentum, and especially for the Mets, who won last night the way they did. They're down on the mat, and then to be able to come back and tie the game up just makes them feel that they can compete.
Is there something to be said if you're the Phillies to try to get the next run before the Mets do?
Absolutely.
Wilson Valdez getting a chance to hit for the first time. He came on as part of a double switch when Antonio Bastardo picked up for Joe Blanton at the top of the fifth. And Valdez takes a fastball at the knees. It's 0-1. Valdez 5 hits and 15 at bats so far this year. Boyer back in 2008, Sarge, against the Phillies, pitched in 8 games for the Braves, and he just couldn't get the Phillies out. 13 runs, 17 hits.
Wow.
7 walks in 7 1/3.
We need some more of that. Well, it's interesting when you walk into that New York Mets clubhouse. It's all together a different clubhouse than last year, attitude-wise. Well, last year, you hear a lot of loud music, a lot of joking around.
Another one to Emis. Valdez trying to hustle his way aboard. 2 outs. Hey fans, tent packages offer a unique opportunity to attend some of the most popular games of the season. The package includes a pregame tailgate in the Phillies party tent with music, buffet menu, beer, and soft drinks, plus a ticket to one of several high-demand Phillies games. To order, look for the tailgate at the tent in the Phillies theme nights at Phillies.com. 2 outs. Victorino, 1 for 3 tonight, up for the 4th time. Victorino tripled in the first and scored. Got an RBI and a ground out his next time up. Outside, 1-1.
You don't worry about too much not getting hits early in the season. You can go up and go 3 for 3, 4 for 4. Your average will go up almost 100 points or more.
Inside the third base bag. Sometimes you have to be a little lucky, and Victorino on his way to second, and he has his second extra base hit of the evening.
Wow. Well, excuse me, double right down the left field line. And you're right, you got to be a little bit lucky sometimes. That kind of makes up for some of the balls you hit hard right at him. As he check swings, hits that right up on the top of the label as it goes right down the line. Automatic double for Victorino when it's down that line.
So he's in scoring position. A base hit can score him. Here's Placido Polanco. Polanco's 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs tonight. His average at 444. Polanco, one of 12 hitters, Sarge, currently in the big leagues with a lifetime 300 average or better.
Wow.
Polanco and Alex Rodriguez both have a lifetime 303 average as play began tonight. David Wright is also one of those guys who is a lifetime 300 hitter. He's at 305. If I asked you who the current active leader in average is in Major League Baseball, who would you say?
Chipper Jones.
Close. Chipper Jones is in the mix. He's at 306.
Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols would be correct, but he's sitting atop that list with one other guy from the American League.
Oh boy.
This is like an extra Dodge Stuff the Fans trivia question.
Yeah, I mean, I keep getting and giving you an answer, and you keep giving me harder questions. This is like school.
Sarge, you will soon graduate.
Oh my goodness.
The 0-2 pitch. Liner toward right. Beltran coming on. He dives. He dropped the ball. Victorino will score, and the Phillies retake the lead.
Oh boy. Yeah, I thought he almost trapped it though from the very beginning.
You're right.
But I guess it must have been in that little webbing. I thought when that ball first hit the ground that Beltran trapped it. He didn't get a great jump on the ball, like he didn't read it inside out that ball, and you can see that ball was kind of trapped as he comes in. Here it is again. Take a look at it. See there as it hits the ground there. God, I got good eyes for my and up here. I still could hit that slider. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Here's Rollins. And Rollins takes a fastball for strike one. It's 0-1.
Well, I'm trying to think of the other player there in the American League, and he is a current player, right?
Yep, he's a current player. This is active leaders in batting average. He plays the position that Beltran plays.
Oh, wow. Well, I was going to say young in the very beginning, but now I don't have a clue in the American League. I was a National League guy just about all my life.
You played for this team that he's on right now.
In Seattle?
Yes.
Oh, Ichiro. Sorry it took me so long for that. Jeez.
1-1 the count to Rollins. And a little high, 2-1.
Well, you know, I can be coached now. I mean, I can be coached.
You did a very nice job. It's impressive, though, to think about Pujols and Ichiro both with 331 lifetime batting average.
It's just, I mean, you just can't believe how good you have to be year in and year out to have that type of average.
Outside, 3-1 to Rollins.
Well, when he sees Ryan Howard, who's coming up next, this is when, again, that third hitter could be able to get that same pitch, which is a fastball. For years here, that's all I did. Look, 3-1, look fastball. Mike Schmidt hitting behind you. Hey, they're not trying to trick you at all.
Inside, ball 4. Rollins joins Polanco on the base paths. And here comes Ryan Howard. And we talked about Blaine Boyer's numbers against the Phillies. They weren't good coming in, and they're not looking good right now.
Right, well, let's see exactly what they're going to do with Ryan Howard and how they want to pitch him. He's been seeing that ball pretty good tonight.
Well, he certainly has seen the ball pretty good. He's 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, a home run, 2 runs scored. And all of that brings us to a closer look at that swing. It's our Coors Light Freeze cam.
Well, there's some contact getting ready to, boy, that's just like the center of the bat. But look at his eyes, though. Look at his eyes in the bat position where he is. No stride, Look at the double. He's in back of the ball as he's driving the ball. That ball is just screaming as it's being hit.
Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Runners on first and second. A run is scored. Phillies lead at 8-7. Ryan Howard 3 for 3. 2 doubles and a home run. Oh boy. Ball cut at the last minute. That slider.
Yeah, it sure did. He got it in a good spot. Actually, he started that in a good spot. Maybe he told him, hey, you better try and keep that ball in on him. Ryan's been hitting that ball that's been out over the plate.
On the outside corner. 0-2. Pretty good fastball.
Yeah, I tell you what, pretty good sequence. Throws a fastball in. Howard looking in on that particular pitch. He puts it right on the block on the outside part of the plate.
Polanco's at second. Rollins at first. 0-2 the count to Howard. Inside 1-2.
Well, you can see the difference if he takes that first pitch that same way, how he would be ahead of the count. But he's been aggressive tonight. Can't fault him at all for that. Pretty difficult to tell that ball inside for a strike or whether or not it's a ball.
This was a comfortable night at one point for Charlie Manuel. His team led it 7-0. But then Terry Collins' squad came back and scored 7 runs the last 2 innings. The Phillies, though, have retaken the lead. It's 8-7. Back toward the middle, off the glove of Boyer. Howard trying to leg it out. Polanco's coming home. Emis is thrown to the plate. Not in time. How about Juan Samuel whispering in the ear of Placido Polanco, and Ryan Howard gets an RBI.
Yeah, that's just good base running there again. Very aggressive. Polanco coming around the score on that. Again, when you have 2 outs, you take all the guesswork out. All you're doing is just hustling, and to be able to score the ball on the infield as Polanco comes around and he's looking at the plate. That's a play there where Samuel might have been saying something as he gets down, but it didn't matter. Polanco reading that play all the way.
9-7 Phillies. And a fastball outside to Ibanez. You're right about that, Sarge. Polanco looked like he was wide-eyed and ready to go.
Oh, coming around the bases, looking right at it. That's just really great base running.
1-1 to Ibanez, who's 2 for 3. By the way, Ryan Howard with 4 hits tonight. That ties his career high. It's the 7th time he's had 4 hits in a game. And he's going to get another chance or 2 before the end of this night. Back toward the middle. Boyer let it go. Reyes. Oh, he threw it right over the ducking head of Ryan Howard. And the side is retired. 2-run score on 3 hits. The Phillies lead 2. We go to the 6th. The Phillies back on top. did everything a pitcher could be asked to do in one season. His efforts, his success, and the memories will always be unforgettable. And they are brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Well, Ryan Howard has a 4-hit night. He also has a couple RBIs in this ball game. He is swinging a red-hot bat and just hitting the ball hard.
Well, that's what you want to do, and that's exactly what he's been doing. That's why he has those 4 hits, hitting that ball hard there.
Willie Harris leads it off against Bastardo, who delivers a strike.
I tell you, just be surprised at how many hits you can get with that ball heading up the middle. Can hit the bag, can go off the pitcher's glove, as that one did.
Little dribbler to first. 1 away. So Bastardo settled things down when he came on in relief of Joe Blanton. He did allow an inherited runner to score.
Well, here it is, that what I'm talking about, right off the glove as it ricochets. And here comes the play by then too late as he slides right in your pitcher. Coming there, you see how he hits that back the plate right before the tag. A lot of guys like going that head first. I might have to go with the legs, but he's safe. And whatever makes you get there the way you feel you should.
Sometimes base runners say they have more control of where they're going to slide if they go head first, because they can reach, they can lift their arm up beyond the tag. But it is dangerous.
Yeah, well, just because of what you can do with your fingers. But I mean, I always thought it was easy to be able to go whatever way you wanted when you were going to slide. Whether or not you wanted to go away from that the plate or the bag, or whether or not you want to go on the inside.
Down and away, 1-2. Look at that, Sarge. That was the first ball Bastardo's thrown since coming into the game.
Oh. And that was borderline. Good slider.
Certainly has enough life on his fastball. His right was late on that fastball.
Yeah, last year the right, even though he had a good year, he still bailed quite a bit. He's still inside out a lot of pitches, but I mean, right is just right. Taking balls, their best player.
Struck out 161 times last year.
Oh, well, that's way too many for him. For this kind of hitter, that's too many strikeouts for him.
3-2 the count to right. 1 out here, top of the 6th. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Well, he just blew that fastball right by him, and this is a fastball hitter. Almost throwing right to his zone on the outside part of the plate, getting it away. Take a look at this. His right has no chance at all in hitting that. You can see that was just a late swing, and you could tell by his face that he just didn't like it very much.
Beltran's the hitter. He has scored 2 runs tonight, out in front of a slider. 0-1. Beltran flied to left in the first, hit by a pitch in the 4th, and scored his first run. Then singled homer run in the 5th and came around to score.
He's a big key to their ball club. He's been hurt the last couple of years. Beltran moved from center field to right field just to be able to save his legs where he doesn't have to run as much.
Pop up. up the third baseline. Schneider didn't see it right away. Now he's got it. Makes the catch, and the side is retired. This is a good job by Bastardo. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets here in the 6th. He's kind of settled things down as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet reinvented. Only from Comcast. Phillies lead at 9-7 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And Francisco leads it off. Francisco's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored tonight. Blaine Boyer's still in the ball game for the Mets. Pitcher spot is due up next for the Phillies, and John Mayberry is out of the on-deck circle. There's John Mayberry.
Well, you just kind of like the job if Bastardo's not going to pitch what he did in coming in and settling down what was starting to be a problem.
Well, particularly because Kyle Kendrick is not available tonight because he pitched last night. So Bastardo needed to give them an inning plus, and now it looks like he'll give way to J.C. Romero in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss by Francisco. 2-2 the count. Foul ball past Samuel. Francisco staying alive with one foul ball after another. Phillies and the Mets have a day game tomorrow. It's a 3:05 first pitch. Jonathan Neese against Roy Halladay. And then the Phillies will hit the road for their first road trip of the year. In the air to left field. Doesn't matter what the wind's doing tonight. That one is long gone. He didn't get cheated on that swing, Sarge.
Wow. And this ball has just hit a ton. You look at the flags, however, they are just drooped. Where the wind isn't blowing hardly at all. He hits that ball last night. That ball's out of here. I mean, he's a good fastball hitter. He can hit the breaking ball. Gonna start hitting like that. That'll be plenty of protection. There's that fastball, and watch how he just drops the bat. He knows that ball's out of here.
Second home run of the year for Francisco. The Phillies lead it 10-7. And John Mayberry will bat for Bastardo. Man, that was a sweet swing. And Mayberry takes a breaking ball inside. Mayberry getting a chance to pitch hit here. 1 for 3 so far. His one hit was a pinch hit single. He's 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Toward the hole, left side, into left field, a base hit. Now the Phillies are seeing the ball very nicely against Blaine Boyer. The Mets did not see it very nicely against Antonio Bastardo, being congratulated as he left the ball game. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. That's exactly what Bastardo did in the top of the 6th. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. Beato is loosening again in the pen. He's thrown a game out there in the bullpen. He's been up so many times. And Schneider fouls a pitch off his foot.
Well, those home runs are hit. I mean, you can almost just tell by the sound.
Oh, yeah.
How far the ball's going, and you know it's going to be leaving the ballpark. They get extension, a lot of those home runs that are hit, and they just keep going, going, and going.
That's what happened last night. The 2 that he hit to the fence and left, with that wind blowing from left to right, they just sounded good.
Oh, yeah. This ball that he hit, however, I thought was more left center, and that ball does travel in that particular area. For whatever reason, it gets out in there. It must be a little bit of a jet stream, but that ball carries and carries. You mentioned about Pagan. You didn't think that ball was going out, and I don't know if he has that kind of power, but he sure did display it. So he hits that ball out closer to that 387 mark in center field. Pretty good poke for a left-handed hitter. Switch hitter at that.
Off the end of the bat, Emis. There's one. Reyes' turn in time. A 4-6-3 double play. Well, the Phillies have scored 3 runs against Boyer since he came on to start the 5th. And he'll throw his 40th pitch of the night as Wilson Valdez will hit for the 2nd time. Boyer won the job in the Mets bullpen. At the end of spring training, he was battling with Jason Isringhausen for the last spot. Isringhausen, who was a very good closer for the A's, for the Cardinals, pitched pretty well in spring training. Terry Collins was impressed with what he saw, but Isringhausen got a little nicked up toward the end, so he's still in Port St. Lucie, and he could still join the team at some point in the next week or so.
Well, I'm sure a lot that will depend on how their staff, the relievers are going. They're going good. They're not going to want to make a change. They're not going very well, and they would like to make a change.
Well, there's Frankie Rodriguez, who is the current closer for the Mets. Not that Isringhausen would come in and replace him at all. But he's the most seasoned of the pitchers that are out there.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Valdez. He got tied up. He was thinking swing from the get-go and couldn't hold up. So he's retired. But Ben Francisco helps the Phils tack on another one with his 2nd home run of the year.
Well, time for the Verizon Wireless game summary. Phillies lead this one 7-0. That's what it was when I left. What did you guys do to this game?
Well, we decided to open it up a little bit.
Holy mackerel. Boy, it has been crazy here tonight. Both starters really struggled. Joe Blanton did have a big 2-run hit while he was in the game, and then all kind of fell apart there in that 5th inning. And Ryan Howard, he has had a big game here again tonight, and he once again is a triple away from the cycle.
For the 2nd time on this homestand.
Yep.
J.C. Romero takes over for Antonio Bastardo. Pretty good job by Bastardo in the inning in 2/3. He did allow one inherited runner to score, but I'll tell you what, getting the Mets in order in the 6th after the Phillies were able to score in the bottom of the 5th and retake the lead, that was pretty impressive.
Right, the Phillies are fortunate enough to go on and win this game, and it doesn't get tied. He would probably be the winner in the game because it's score discretion because the starter didn't go 5.
Angel Pagan leads it off for the Mets. Pagan has 2 hits tonight, including a 2-run home run. He has scored twice. A couple RBIs out in front, and a pop up on the infield. Polanco calls off Rollins. 1 away. How about the base running by Polanco?
Tremendous. You know, that was great play. And you guys had a tremendous replay on that. He just kept coming.
Yeah.
And he was watching the play the whole time. He knew second baseman Emus is way back on Ryan Howard with 2 outs. Had a long way to come for that thing anyway. And then he just kind of flipped it. And, you know, that play wasn't even that close.
Ike Davis had a 2-run double back in the 5th. That brought the Mets to within 1. They eventually tied it on a base hit by Daniel Murphy.
They were hitting a lot of pitches early in that inning. That new expression they use about ambushing guys. And here's Polanco. See, he's watching the play, Look, 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 look. He did that all on his own. Tremendous play by Polanco. Well, maybe it was a little closer, I thought.
Well, he swept the tag. Tolley did, but
Yeah,
he didn't.
Like
he missed it.
Yeah, he beat it pretty easily. Tolley was kind of out in front of the plate and didn't block it because that's the last thing he thought that guy was going to be coming down. The throw took him away from the plate anyway.
1-1 the count to Davis. He lays off and takes a first strike.
Schneider called the time there. You see the home plate umpire Mike Winters point to him. We'll go through the signs again.
Right side, that'll sneak in for a base hit. Second hit of the evening for Davis. And with 1 out, Brad Emus is the batter. Hey, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Those 2 young ladies all ready. Get the eye black on. Although eye black isn't what it used to be. Little tabs that they put on.
Yeah.
Instead of the what is it, chalk or the ash that they put on your eyes as eye black. I don't even know what that is. Now it's a lot of times it has some advertising on it or has the logos of the team on it.
Well, you know, you sell what you can when you can.
1-1 the count to Emus. Over toward third. That could be 2. Polanco to second for 1. Valdez's throw in time. Around the horn. 5-4-3 double play.
Ryan Howard. He can't believe how hard he threw that.
Valdez breaking in the glove. Over at first base with the throw. Good pitch by Romero. Solid inning by JC. The double play started by Polanco, but certainly finished by Valdez. trivia quiz answer. Wheels, Joe Blanton hit a home run in Game 4 of the 2008 World Series off what pitcher?
Edwin Jackson.
Edwin Jackson, Wheels, is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I wrote it down so I'd remember.
Everybody needs notes from time to time.
You bet.
Edwin Jackson currently pitching for the Chicago White Sox. Pedro Beato is the new pitcher for the Mets. He's a guy who grew up in the shadows of Shea Stadium and now gets a chance to pitch for New York. Pitched in 2 innings on Friday against the Marlins. That was opening day. And he'll face Shane Victorino to start the bottom of the 7th. Phillies lead at 10-7. Victorino swings at the first pitch. And there's one away.
Phillies have never seen this guy. And, you know, they have scouting reports on him. You like to see him throw some pitches, have an idea. But Shane got a fastball there that he liked. Big hit in this game, not big indeed, big hit, but you think about that double that he got with 2 outs and nobody on base after the Mets had just tied the game up. They had all the momentum on their side, and a little check swing double down the left field line. The next thing you know, they had a couple runs, and the Phillies had, you know, kind of turned the momentum around a little bit right when it looked like they could be in trouble. And
then Polanco had the ball down into right field that Beltran couldn't come up with. A back liner right to second, 2 outs.
Charlie Manuel, I can't tell you how many times I sat there and talked to him, and he brings up the point that, you know, you got to be good in this game, but if you don't have any luck in the course of a long year, or you have a lot of bad luck, you don't win. And, you know, those little things like that can sometimes help win you a ball game. And luck is so important to ball, you know, a foot this way, a foot that way. And if you get enough of them in your favor, you have a heck of a season.
The other thing too, a lot has been made about Rollins batting third and, you know, his style. Well, look at his on base percentage, and his walk in the 5th set up the at bat for Howard to drive in another run in that 5th.
Yeah, it was a very good at bat by Jimmy Rollins, Tom, as you say. And you know, Charlie sees all that sort of stuff, and he has him in the 3-hole because that's where he really needs him right now.
1-2 the count. Now, Rollins hasn't driven in a run as the 3-hitter or hit a home run, obviously, but he has scored 4 runs, and he's done a lot of things to help the Phillies to some big innings.
Yeah, and he hasn't had an extra base hit yet, although he's flirted with some. He's hit a bunch of balls hard to the outfield that would turn into outs.
He's had a lot of conversations with Charlie Manuel, too, when he's not at the plate. Again, you figure that when the Chase Utley comes back, as Ryan Matson loosens up in the pen, he'll take over the 3-hole, and whether Rollins goes back to the leadoff spot or drops to the 5-hole remains to be seen. There's Chase. Cue shot back to the mound. Beato runs halfway to the bag, and he has a 1-2-3 7th inning. So we played 7 here in Philadelphia. Ryan Matson's coming on with a 3-run lead. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF now. And by Jeep Brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. Ryan Matson on here in the 8th inning with the Phillies leading it by 3, 10-7. When the Phillies were up 7-0, you wondered if Matson would get some work tonight just to get some work. Well, he's getting some work in a very important spot.
Well, as you mentioned, Antonio Bastardo really the key to this game tonight for the Phillies, that he calmed everything down. He gave up the one hit, gave up an inherited run. But after that, he calmed it down to the point where you could go with your rotation, and that means a Romero in the 7th, because you used Baez and Herndon last night, and they didn't want to use them again if they could avoid it. JC did his job. Now this is Matson's inning, and then the 9th is Contreras'. So they're into their bullpen rotation right now because of what Bastardo was able to do.
Phillies bullpen so far this year has an ERA of just over 3. They've done a nice job so far. Tolle leads it off and takes a strike. Matson hasn't worked since Friday, so you figured that he would get in eventually tonight just to get the work in.
And he roared through that inning he pitched the first game. It was quick.
How about that changeup right there?
You know, that's what he did in that game. He threw a lot of strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes the count to Tolle, who's 0 for 3. Swing and a miss. He got him.
This guy's tough to strike out because he chokes up and he has a little short swing. Tries to put the ball in play, and they've gotten him twice tonight on strikes.
Well, the Washington Nationals' first trip to Citizens Bank Park will begin on Tuesday, May 3rd. That's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night here at the ballpark. So come on out, get some eats, get some tickets. The Phils and the Nationals, the first of 3. All 3 games are night games. You can go to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets right now. Lucas Duda is the pinch hitter for the Mets. 94 with that fastball from Matson. Duda 1 for 8. Francisco Rodriguez is loosening in the pen for New York. So you figure he'll pitch the bottom of the 8th.
That's another guy, just like Matson, you were saying, Tom, they probably need to get him some work.
A changeup that's rolled to short. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. There's Rodriguez.
Yeah, he was in the news a little bit last year.
Sure was. Into an altercation with his girlfriend's father.
At the ballpark.
At the ballpark. In front of his teammates' families.
Not good.
Reyes, the hitter.
Wound up on suspension.
And then wound up breaking a bone during that altercation. He pitched in a game against the Phillies. And it was found out later on that he had a broken bone. Some question as to whether he'll even be with the Mets this entire year.
Well, they owe him. He's another guy they have a lot of money invested in.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Reyes. A couple hits tonight, a run scored.
At least he won't be thumping his chest and pointing at the sky tonight.
It's kind of interesting, though, that they would pitch him in the bottom of the 8th instead of waiting to see if they can tie or take the lead, unless they think they can get more than 1 inning out of him. Right side, Valdez to his left. An easy inning for Ryan Matson. He was already running off the field as Valdez made that toss over to first. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets. Nice job by the Phillies bullpen as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee Brewers are leading the Atlanta Braves as we speak, and they'll be in town for their only trip to Philadelphia Monday, April 18th at 7:05. It's our first Hatfield Dollar Dog Night here at the ballpark. Then Wednesday the 20th is the Citizens Bank Business Person Special. We have our first one tomorrow afternoon. Get your tickets now. Limited seats remain by going to Phillies.com. We keep saying limited seats are available for these upcoming games, and it is true. There are seats available here at the ballpark, and anybody that's come to the ballpark knows there's not a bad seat in the house. Francisco Rodriguez wound up blowing a save on Saturday, but then earning the win against the Marlins. Greg Dobbs tied the game for Florida, and he's on here in the bottom of the 8th with the Phillies up by 3. You figure that they potentially could use him for more than one inning, or they could use Parnell if the Mets wind up tying it or taking the lead in the top of the 9th. And I guess Terry Collins is thinking, all right, Ryan Howard's the hottest guy in this order. Ibanez, who's on deck, has a couple hits, so let me send my closer out there to try to keep it at a 3-run ball game.
Yeah, and they're 8 spots away from the pitcher in their lineup.
I say that because in this world of specialties, you know, closer is usually saved for when you have a chance to close the game out.
Yeah, sometimes they'll use them in mop-ups, but you know, it's only a 3-run lead, and that's your point.
Ball 4, Howard's aboard. Now Howard a triple away from the cycle, and he's had himself a heck of a night.
Well, he sure has. Started it out with this ball over the head or off to the side of Pagan for a double, and then he goes deep to center field. Where'd that thing hit? Right in the shrubbery out there for the home run. Then he hits this one here. Looked like it was going to go out and point right off the top of the wall for another double. Now here's the great base run he played. Goes off the glove of Boyer. Long run for the second baseman. Emis throws to first, and then the throw to the plate late as Polanco made a tremendous base running play and got Ryan Howard an RBI out of it.
So Howard tonight, thanks to that base running by Polanco, has a couple RBIs and 2 runs scored. And here's Ibanez, who also has an RBI tonight and a run scored.
Ryan's had a strange start to his season. Swinging the bat great. He struck out 6 times, and it's 3-3 in 2 games. And the other games he hasn't struck out at all. And last night he had a 3-bagger.
Started the year last year with 10 RBIs in his first 5 games. Well, this year he has 8 RBIs in his first 5 games.
Yeah, this usually isn't his month either.
Nope. Toward first. Davis to second for 1. Reyes' return not in time.
Boy, Reyes can return a baseball to first in a hurry. He doesn't need to use his legs. He's not like Jimmy's that way, Jimmy Rollins, but Reyes' arm is just amazing. Think of the juice he just got on that, and he's basically flat-footed when he threw it.
And Francisco's the hitter. Francisco homered his last time up. He has scored 2 runs tonight.
And the wind didn't get him tonight,
No.
Tom. He really killed this thing. He hit these balls like this last night. It looked like a slider out over the plate a little bit, and boom, way up into the seats where we thought those 2 might go last night, but the wind had another idea. He's strong. There's no doubt about it. You know, he gets a lot of at-bats. He's going to hit some homers.
But when he got a lot of at-bats for the Indians, he hit 15 home runs in a year. Now, I say a lot. It was probably a half season's worth, but he still hit 15 homers.
Yeah. Well, he looks, you know, he's a middle in type of guy. You know, he wants the ball in that area. He can hit it the other way, but for the most part, he's going to hit the ball to the left of second base.
2 balls, 1 strike the count to Francisco.
See, all those pitches away, he doesn't want that. And he's gotten himself to the point now where he doesn't have to swing. Anything from the middle part of the plate away from him, he can look from the other direction.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard. The Giants have defeated the Padres 8-4. Buster Posey 3 hits, 4 RBIs.
Might be a good player someday.
That Buster Posey?
Yeah, he's pretty good prospect. Wow, did he explode on the scene? What a tremendous player that guy.
He hit a ball yesterday out at Petco Park to the deepest part of the park. It was a towering shot. Didn't go out, but right to the wall.
Well, we saw him in the playoffs last year and how good he is.
There goes Ibanez. And Francisco tried to check his swing. He went around. It gets away from Tolley. Tolley doesn't realize it, and Francisco's safe at first.
No, he can't go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First base was occupied.
I'm watching Francisco and thinking, hey, he's off and running.
He deked this. Yeah, you can't. The base runners can go, but of course the batter can't go if first base is occupied with less than 2 outs.
Right, and technically, even though Ibanez was off and running, it was occupied.
Right. The ball came running in on Ben Francisco right in an area where he really could have handled it too. And since he's running on the play, it's probably a stolen base. You see, now Ben knows and if Rodriguez is pointing to first, everybody down there just kind of forgot. Right now, Ben's thinking, well, it doesn't matter. I'm out. Yeah. Wasn't there somebody on first?
Here's Ross Glode pinch hitting. And Glode takes a breaking ball for strike 1. You know, last year the Phillies pinch hitters, and I know it's only 5 games, 188. This year, Phillies pinch hitters, counting Mayberry's hit tonight, 6 for 11.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, that Charlie really likes his bench. He likes it for a lot of reasons, Tom, and one of them is the versatility that he has. You know, as he said, Mayberry can play all 3 outfield positions and first. Michael Martinez can play the infield and the outfield. Or proved that he could play in the outfield if you need him. So they can do some things if you get in some of these goofy National League games where you're double switching and all the kinds of things you have to do to win.
Valdez the same. He could play the outfield as Contreras warms up in the pen. Swing and a miss, and Glode is down on strikes. Tolley this time will throw to first for the putout. The side is retired. Jose Contreras is coming on to try to save the ball game for the Phils when we return. Ruiz comes into the ball game to catch for the Phillies. Time now to take a look at our Home Depot defensive plays of the game. Wheels.
A couple double plays really came in handy. This one for Joe Bland. The ball hit to Jimmy Rollins, a little short hop. He runs over to the bag, and a nice play by Ryan Howard on the other end as they complete the 6-3 double play. And then here we go with another one around the horn. And he fired that thing at Ryan Howard, and Ryan Howard looked at him like, what was that?
The Home Depot doing more on defense. Jose Contreras, the new pitcher for the Phillies. This is a save situation. Contreras pitched on Saturday, did not get a decision against the Astros. But here he can get a decision. After Matson set up in the 8th with a 1-2-3 8th. Contreras will face Willie Harris, David Wright, Carlos Beltran, with the Phils up by 3.
I'd like him to come in, throw strikes, and have a drama-free 9th inning.
Phillies led it 7-0 going into the 4th. The Mets tied it with 2 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. And the Phillies scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th and the 1 in the bottom of the 6th. And now, after the two teams combined for 17 runs on 28 hits, we go to the 9th in a save situation.
Kind of saw it coming, right?
In the air, down the left field line. That'll slice out of play. Joe Blanton started for the Phillies, went 4 1/3. He looked good for the first few innings, and then all of a sudden he ran into trouble in the 5th and was charged with 5 runs in that inning. Antonio Bastardo, an inning and 2/3 scoreless. J.C. Romero, a scoreless inning. Same for Matson, and now it's Contreras.
Well, that splitter really moved. And
sure did.
You see Carlos Ruiz is trying to frame it, maybe get a strike, but he had to try and catch it just in case he swung at it.
Three and 2.
Harris really got a big walk in that inning. That 5-run inning they had was an important walk, and he's just trying to get up on base right now for David Wright in the heart of the order.
On the outside corner, Harris thought it was ball 4. Nope. It was strike 3. 1 out here in the 9th.
Yeah, he tried to buy that one, but that was a strike. It was a 95 fastball. See Contreras, no doubt about strike. But that was a good job by Harris. You know, he did all he could, and then the guy throws a perfect pitch away from him like that. He figured, oh, maybe I can sell it.
So 1 out here at the top of the 9th. Contreras, who last year saved 4 games. He won 6 for the Phillies out of the pen, a 3.34 earned run average. And now David Wright takes the first pitch a little low.
Well, he's rushing it up there. He likes to throw sliders to right-handed hitters more than a split, and then splits to the left-handed hitters. Overthrew that. See him pat it in his chest like, that's me. I know.
"39 years old. He'll turn 40 this December. And to say that he's reinvented himself over the last couple of years is an understatement. Well, he's awfully close with a couple of these pitches.
Yeah, they look like they could be knee high, but you know, evidently they're not.
Three and 0 the count to Wright. He's had only one other at bat against Contreras, and it was a walk. In the air to shallow right. Francisco, a long run. Valdez is there as well, and Valdez makes the grab.
Nice play by Wilson Valdez, but what a pitch by Contreras. You talk about a running fastball.
Hey, fans, don't forget, after the ball game, we had all the highlights and a complete recap, and it's going to take a while of this ball game. Plus, get the expert analysis from Ricky Metallico of Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. That's after the ball game right here on the Comcast Network. Ricky had a little frog in his throat the other day, and I heard him on the radio today, and it sounded like that frog was out, and he was clear sailing from here on out.
Thing jumped back in the pond.
It did.
Little tea, honey, and lemon.
2 outs. Here's Beltran.
Well, that fastball he just threw to David Wright was a chasing him fastball, and he didn't hit it at all. He just hit, he almost had a little jammer.
Beltran has scored twice tonight. Down and away, 2-0.
Well, 2 outs and nobody on base, but this is what you don't want to see from your guy coming in the 9th inning. You get behind everybody like this. So far, so good.
Yeah, he's gotten the 2 outs, but 8 balls, 5 strikes.
Yeah, well, that's not a good way to close out a game, and nobody knows that more than Contreras.
Ball 3. He fell behind 3-0 to right.
All 3 guys have gone 3 balls now.
Ball 4. So Beltran's aboard. 2-out base runner. 45,000 plus. Hoping the Phillies can win their 4th game on this homestand. The opening homestand of the year. Ashburn Alley has been packed all night long. Pagan is homered tonight.
These guys have done a really good job of being patient. I mean, you have to give them some credit too. You know, when you're down by 3 runs, you got to take a pitch.
Pagan is one of the few guys that has at bats against Contreras. 0-2 the count. So he's gotten ahead of Angel Pagan.
Yeah, this is where Jose can get strikeouts too with that split with the left-handed hitters. Sometimes he'll go up and then go back down, you know, change their eye level. See if he goes right after him with it.
Phillies led it 7-0. Then the game was tied at 7. They lead it by 3. The 0-2 pitch to Pagan. Off the outside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, they went with a high fastball there. Now is a good time to throw a split to him after going upstairs like that.
His eyes are raised a little bit.
Well, yeah. See Carlos Ruiz standing up. He wanted a high fastball there, and he just missed. Now you're right. It was close.
Beltran goes. Fly ball slicing out of play down the left field line. And we'll do it again.
Another high fastball, mid-90s. Yeah, they don't care about Beltran. All the infielders are all the way back, 2 outs with a 3-run lead. That would be defensive indifference.
The 1-2 pitch. Oh boy, he almost offered at it. That split at 81.
Yeah, you figured sooner or later he was going to throw it to him, but it wasn't a good one really. It's real high, and he sees it. That it's out of the strike zone.
Well, this has been a longer inning than Contreras wanted. This will be the 21st pitch of the inning. Beltran goes 2-2. Liner towards short. Easy play for Jimmy Rollins in what turned out to be a not so easy ball game for the Phillies, but they win it by a final score of 10-7. Up 7-0, then tied at 7. They retook the lead with 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and then hung on thanks to the bullpen. Ryan Howard had a heck of a night offensively. 4 for 4, including his 2nd home run. And he is our Chevy player of the game. Ben Francisco also homered for the Phillies. They did a lot of good things in the first 3 innings, and well, really this entire game they ran the bases well at times. Just a little speed bump in the 4th and 5th to bring the Mets back even at 7.
Well, they were resilient too. You know, all of a sudden that game 7-7, you start thinking, oh no, you know, how did this all happen? But they went out and got some more runs after that, and then the bullpen did a tremendous job. Here are the W.B. Mason deliveries of the game. Ryan Howard, dead center field, slider, into the shrubbery, and then Ben Francisco had 2 homers knocked down by the wind last night. Got a high fastball running towards him and hit it halfway up the seats in left center field.
And then the bullpen took over. Jose Contreras, his 5th career save. Ryan Howard, as we mentioned, his 2nd home run of the season, a 4-for-4 night, and he is down on the field with Sarge. Sarge, take it away.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. Ryan, 4 hits there. Were you thinking about that maybe cycle, that triple, just for a second?
No, not really. I just saw the ball get past Angel, and then it kind of kicked a little bit, and Angel's a pretty fast guy. He got to it pretty quick and just kind of shut it down in the second base.
Difference between last night and tonight. I noticed that you didn't take a stride. You are closer to the plate. But I thought you looked good even last night, but today making solid contact.
Last night I just felt a little bit off. I just felt kind of in between with my timing a little bit. And, tonight was able to get back on it a little.
How about on that double play? Now, I noticed one time you went in and you didn't slide. That last time you got down on the ground.
I don't know what's going on with Jose out there, but, he kind of freaked me out a little bit. But, because I thought he was going to go straight to second base, and he wound up throwing it to first. So I just made sure and got down.
Well, continued success. That was the 7th time you had 4 hits in your career. That's really great. I'm sure you're going to be on many more times. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully we'll get it done.
All right, Tom, Wills.
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. The Phils win it 10-7, the final score. They even up this series. We'll be back after this.